Time now to find out what's happening in the cinemas here in Japan. And with us, film critic from Metropolis Magazine, Don Morton. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing good.
Welcome back. You just got back from where?
California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia.
We'll hear more about that later, or I'm sure you'll be making some movies or something on your Facebook page to tell our listeners about your trip?
Something like that.
All right. It's the Silver Week weekend here in Japan. That means people have a lot of free time to enjoy movies and other entertainment. I want to get to the movies in just a moment. But first, over at Roppongi Hills, they have this Belgian Beer weekend going on till next Wednesday, the 23rd. We're seeing shots of that right now, right around the corner from where we are.
That's right.
You want to wave to the ladies there?
Hi, girls.
All right. Let's get to the movies, but first, best burrito in Tokyo. Where can we get the most delicious burrito here in Japan?
That would, of course, be the Pink Cow.
Moving on to the movies, what for will you be telling us about this week?
We're going to talk about Pixels, Ant-Man,
Ooh.
Kingsman, The Secret Service, and Danny Collins.
As usual, worst first.
Pixels. This is an Adam Sandler movie.
Made with Sandler's usual excellence, I presume.
Of course. The guy's amazing. Just when you think he can't get any more moronic, he summons the energy to appall you all over again.
Boy. So what's this movie about?
Well, it seems that versions of 80s arcade games like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were sent into deep space decades ago.
Interesting premise.
At the same time that this geeky kid was winning video game competitions.
Okay, so far so good.
Well, it seems that aliens found the package and thought the games were real weapons, and now they're attacking Earth with giant weaponized recreations of Pac-Man and Donkey Kong.
Oh, I love it.
And it's up to the former Atari ace to save the day. This is not even very good by its own just for entertainment standards.
No, so count the ways for us.
Okay. It's exhaustively lazy, it's profoundly pointless, and by necessity heavy on the exposition.
Ouch.
And to top it all off, Kevin James appears as a best bud who now happens to be the President of the United States.
It sounds like fun to me, but you say...
This is not a movie for kids. It's not a movie for adults. It's not a movie for human beings.
Moving on from a human to an Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I understand it stars Paul Rudd.
Yeah, not an actor that immediately leaps to mind when one thinks of superhero casting. Anyway, the cornball backstory involves an ex-con trying to be a better dad to his daughter.
So how does he become Ant-Man?
Well, because he was a cat burglar, he's recruited by a genius inventor, played by Michael Douglas, who was ousted from his own company by those wishing to weaponize his object-shrinking technology. The inventor-mentor gives him this neato high-tech suit that drops him down to, well, ant size.
Honey, I Shrunk the Superhero?
Precisely. In the superhero universe, this mixed bag, it's not terrible, like, say, Daredevil or Catwoman, but it's way too long. It's not as funny as it thinks it is, and it's borderline dull.
Will the kids enjoy this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Moving on, next film is called Kingsman, The Secret Service. These are not the Kingsmen who sang Louie Louie. Or not.
I'm pretty sure it's not. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's in this movie?
Colin Firth is cast against type as Harry Hart, a suave, quintessentially Connery super spy. He can mow down a row of thugs without rumpling his Savile Row suit.
I understand he did all of his own stunts in this movie?
Which is pretty amazing. You don't think of Colin Firth as doing stuff like that. Anyway, he and his hush-hush cadre of spies are going after a nefarious billionaire, played by Samuel L. Jackson, doing a lisp.
Say.
Yes. It's kind of a knowing postmodern homage spoof of Bond-spawned gentleman spy thrillers.
I like that. Who's the director of this movie?
Well, that would be the energetically edgy Matthew Vaughn, who gave us Kick-Ass. So think of this as a less colorful Austin Powers with extreme violence.
I like it.
Michael Caine and Mark Strong are in it, too, so it's worth seeing just for the acting.
What's the downside of this movie?
Well, ultimately, this is ideologically vapid and overlong high-class multiplex fodder. The shock humor is effective, but sometimes misses wildly. There's a totally inappropriate church shooting. Such violence just erodes the spirit of a spoof, in my opinion.
Recommendable?
Well, I was amused, but not nearly often enough.
Date movie?
Yeah, if you're going out with a mass murderer.
Ouch. Inspirational?
Not particularly.
Next movie is called...
Danny Collins.
Who's in this movie?
Al Pacino.
Oh.
He's irresistible as an aging crooner of flaccid pop crowd pleasers.
Like maybe Neil Diamond or Don Ho?
Neil Diamond was the man who popped into my mind. He's a kitsch pop icon. He still fills arenas and rides around in a bus with his face on it.
And so what's the plot?
Well, he receives a letter from John Lennon, dated 1971, but lost for decades, saying, "Let's get together."
Wow.
He muses on how different his life and music may have been were he able to say, "Yes, let's."
Oh, man.
And decides to clean up his personal act and reconnect with a groupie-generated son he's never seen.
So the old redemption and reinvention formula.
Well, yes and no. It certainly sets up a big sentimental resolution. Pacino doesn't disappear into the title role as much as he oozes into it with comic bravado.
This sounds really good. Who's the supporting cast?
The redoubtable Christopher Plummer is the singer's manager, and Bobby Cannavale and Annette Bening are pretty good in their admittedly one-note roles. It's exuberant, hilarious, and heartfelt. It's not without flaws. It's close to cornball in some places, but never mawkish. At any rate, it's great to see an all-time great actor back in form.
Lots of music in this movie, I presume?
Yes, and the plot-relevant score is by none other than John Lennon.
Can you name some of the songs that John wrote for? He didn't write the songs for this movie.
No, they use the songs.
They used the songs to help move the plot.
Right. Some including Working Class Hero, Whatever Gets You Through the Night,
Ooh.
Beautiful Boy,
Aha.
Nobody Told Me, Number 9 Dream, Instant Karma.
Sounds good.
It is. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Recommended as a date movie for this weekend?
Absolutely.
All right, Don, one more time. Where do we get the best burrito in Tokyo?
Easy answer. That's the Pink Cow in Roppongi.
And let's go out with a few more shots from what's happening over at Roppongi Hills during the Belgian Beer Weekend, going on till Wednesday, the 23rd. Once again, can you wave to the ladies there, Don?
Hi there, girls.
They have some great music happening at this event.
And it's Belgian beer. They got some great beer happening at that event.
They've got all the best Belgian beers. Hey, got an idea.
Yeah.
After this, would you like to go over to Roppongi Pills and Roppongi Pills?
Roppongi Pilsner.
Yeah, and what do you call that? Tip and elbow?
Bend and elbow.
Bend and elbow. All right, that's it. That's all the time we have for the Kong Show Tokyo Turn On. Don Morton, film critic from Metropolis Magazine. As always, thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine.